Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Welcome to another episode of ANZ Salesforce Podcast. So today I have with me a very special guest, Herbert Hesketh, who's a Salesforce professional working at ACC. So today what we're going to do, we're going to talk about a very cool and important topic, the day in the life of a Salesforce developer slash admin. So welcome to my show, Mr. Hesketh.
Oh, cheers, Vickers.
So how's your day been?
Yeah, no, it's been really productive. Just the last day of my contract for the year. So yeah, just looking forward to the Christmas break and that sort of thing. So just tying up some loose ends today. And I'm off on break, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great to know. So would you tell me about your work and the stuff you do, just like a brief introduction?
Okay. Yeah. So I guess the best way to start this off is, to utilize Salesforce, uh, administrator sort of developer is needed. So, that's where I come in. The tasks I do as a administrator developer start at the ground level and then work all the way up to the more advanced task, which needs sort of more development custom solutions. So yeah, I basically started off just working for an app exchange partner based in Miami, just running advanced reports for email marketing and performing sort of basic admin tasks. As I progressed, I joined a non-profit organization based here in New Zealand, just doing custom Salesforce development using Salesforce development tools such as Visualforce Pages, SOSL queries and flows and Apex code. And so yeah, currently I'm just working at ACC, where I'm doing a combination of both admin and development tasks, creating users, assigning permission sets, groups and roles and QA environments. For production, we use Active Directories to assign permission sets, profiles and roles using Jet Handler. Also keeping track of Salesforce license usage, creating Salesforce certificates for single sign-on and connected apps, unlocking users who have been locked out, running backups and restores, running SOSL queries, running pipelines for Salesforce releases and retrofits. So, yeah.
That's fantastic, mate. That's really amazing. I mean, if I'll be very honest with you, I mean, since I work in Salesforce space, if I'm someone who never worked at Salesforce, I'll be really keen to see what Salesforce is all about after hearing you. That's really amazing. So it
That's all
seems like
right, yeah.
so so it seems like your day is pretty busy with all this kind of stuff. That's cool.
Pretty busy, yeah.
That's that's exciting. So would you mind telling me about a project you worked at Salesforce, if that's okay with you?
Yeah, no worries, Vickers. Yeah. So yeah, when I was working at the non-profit organization, I had to build like a custom development solution that would generate a dynamic PDF from a Visualforce page and then attach this PDF to an email and then send this auto-generated email to the client. I found this like a really fun project as it gave me lots of exposure to the power of Apex Salesforce development.
Nice. That's nice. That's really cool. Exciting project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It kind of made me dip my toes into the whole Apex side of things. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So obviously, in Salesforce, right, you get to manage different changes. So what tools do you use to manage the Salesforce changes?
Um, well, yeah, at the non-profit organization, we're just using change sets to push those through, and then I was having to do, I guess, unit tests to make sure that I got the code coverage up to the required levels. But I guess at ACC, we're doing the Azure pipeline, so that's another sort of tool that I had to learn about. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's cool, right? One thing on the chainsaw, right? Chainsaw is really handy if you're working
Mm,
for a small project, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
even admin can pretty much add the components and push it, which is very, very simple. But
yeah,
yeah, when it comes to enterprise level, you do need something like Azure or Bitbucket or right. That's
yeah,
cool.
exactly. Yeah.
So now, since we're touching on, different topics like Azure or I just wanted to ask one more question. So it's great that you work with the Salesforce. Do you also get to work on other tech? Like you did mention something about Active Directory though. Is that something to do with Azure or?
No, that's just Microsoft technology, Active Directory, and just keeping track of all the users so we can um, add sort of quick updates to users and assign permission sets and roles and profiles. So, but yeah, I also use other technologies as well, like AutoRabbit for restores and backups, and Venafi for security certificate generation, and also use a custom ticketing solution for problems from users that they may have. So
Nice, nice. That's really good. That's really cool. Yeah, the backups are pretty cool, eh? I mean, although people do underestimate the power of backup because everything is stored in the cloud, right, in Salesforce
mm,
space. So usually, the team assumes, oh, we don't need a backup, but someone can muck up the stuff in production, right? And then
exactly, yeah.
yeah, so that, they're like, oopsie, oh, that was a financial data. Oh, sorry about that.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
uh,
Now, now coming to the Salesforce cloud, right? And
yeah.
obviously we have different clouds, right? You have
Yeah.
Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud. It's endless cloud. So could you tell me some of the clouds you worked with, or what's your experience regarding those clouds?
Yeah, no worries. So I guess since, starting Trailhead in 2017, I've mostly just been focusing on like the Sales Cloud, but this year I've had more exposure to different Salesforce clouds like Service Cloud, and then the completely new experience of Marketing Cloud, which, yeah, it's got a whole different user interface. It's
Yeah.
quite an interesting cloud, that one.
Yeah, Marketing Cloud has been interesting. I had a look at it and I'm not really good with it, but it's okay. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Salesforce has been acquiring different stuff. They acquired Slack, they did MuleSoft. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Sales Cloud is still one of my favorite though. I mean, I
mm,
like to work with Sales Cloud as well as Service Cloud. That's pretty cool. Now, as we know, right, in Salesforce space, you can do low code as well as the code, right? Now, Salesforce have
yeah.
Apex for server-side programming, and they do JavaScript as well, right? So now, if you have to pick between Apex and JavaScript, which one that would be?
I'll probably go off like the Apex because, it's quite similar to Java, and I just find it's a lot easier to learn and it's a lot more user friendly. And I find there's quite a lot more resources that you can find to get help on this subject. And
Yeah.
you got, like the Trailhead Academy and also the Stack Exchange if you get stuck. So, um, yeah, I just prefer Apex a lot better than JavaScript, eh?
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I like Apex a lot, right? Because I came from a C# background, so I find Apex pretty user friendly. It's like I feel home. But when I use JavaScript, it's a dynamic language. It's just sometimes, right?
Yeah,
It just like you have to figure out in the runtime whether this stuff works because
yeah.
usually in the Apex you try to save it and it won't let you save it. So say, oopsie, there's a syntax error. But the JavaScript.
Mm.
Good luck with that if you manage to sneak in some bad code.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So,
that's cool.
yeah.
Now, do you remember the first code you've written?
Yeah, I believe that was, just with HTML back in 2002, just creating basic sort of websites. And then, as I progressed, I got more into JavaScript for creating custom buttons on websites. And now recently just getting into Apex and building more advanced functionality in Salesforce. So,
Nice,
yeah.
nice, nice. That's great. That's great. Fantastic. I remember writing my first code when I was 10-year-old. That's in BASIC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my father took me to visit friends in Dubai, and I remember that back in the days, there was this, old school computer, and my cousin said, "Hey, come and have a look. This is like a basic code." I'm like, "What is it?"
All right.
He said, "You can do something, and it'll show you the result." I said, "Really?" Then the first question I asked, "Can I ask him to give a candy?" He said, "No, it doesn't work that way."
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first experience. That was pretty cool.
But most of those skills are quite transferable, like all the variables and the methods and
Yeah,
all of that.
absolutely
So,
right.
you know,
The way I think about a programming language is like a human language, right? You just like,
mm,
the only difference is that instead of talking to a fellow human being, you're talking to a computer, right?
yeah.
And so the computer deserves some respect, right? Hey, talk to me in that proper language which I can understand, right? So that's why we got different programming language which does different stuff. But yeah, these skills are transferable, I
And I
guess.
think I think one of the most important things is actually putting comments in your code, eh? So if
Yeah.
someone goes to reread it, then they actually know what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's good you mentioned that, right? I mean,
Mm.
I believe that's very important, because even for your own use, right? If you revisit the code, let's say after 6 months, you're like, who the heck wrote this code? It happened to me though. I like, who can write this code? Then I realized, oh, it's me. So
Yeah, and then if you want to do improvements later on, then you know exactly what you've been doing. So
yeah, that's right. That's a
yeah.
very valid point, right? That's
Mm.
fantastic. Now, let's step aside a bit away from a code. The reason why I'm saying Salesforce obviously advertised the tech stack as a low code tool so that
Yeah.
anybody can work on. So what's your opinion on flows?
Okay, so yeah, you got like declarative tools, and you've also got programmatic tools. So,
Yeah,
for like administrator to get into, making a more advanced solution, then the flow is the way to go, and it's kind of just like a step-by-step process. Really, it's just clicking buttons and just building the custom functionality from, I guess, what you've written down from a design.
yeah,
And it's nice to see that Salesforce is going to go in the direction of flows, with them getting rid of workflows and process builders. So
yeah.
if an administrator wants to get started now, flows are the way to go. So
Yeah, I mean, I quite like flows because
mm,
it sometimes when you don't have to feel like writing code, and a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
things you can do using flows, right? And plus flows are very useful if you wanted to build a quick prototype to
yeah,
demonstrate
yeah.
to the customer. So yeah, I mean, I do appreciate that Salesforce is improving a lot on the flow. So yeah, it's great. It's great.
But I guess if you want to get into the more advanced kind of side of things, then you need to get more into the Apex, because sometimes flow is a bit basic, and to get that extra functionality, you sort of need the Apex code side of things. But
Yeah, that's right. You can use
yeah,
in multiple Apex.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right. I agree with you. Now, as a developer or as an admin or even as an architect, right? Sometimes we have to work on a multi-day problem. What that means is that you get a problem, say on Monday, and
yeah,
it
yeah.
takes you like bloody 4 days to figure that out. And it can be a very stressful time, right? When someone says, "Hey, what's the status? Is it done?" Or do you find it challenging at times, like multi-day problems?
Not really. You just got to multitask on things, and I mean, you got your Outlook calendar to keep track of what's happening, and um, yeah, I don't really find much difficulty. I mean, you've also got the whole team that can help out sometimes if you get a bit stuck. So,
Right.
um, yeah.
That's cool. That's good to know. That's
Mm.
really cool. Yeah, that's actually kind of right. Calendars, right? I work with another architect, right? And he mentioned to me that you can use Trello board, right, to keep track of your
Yeah,
tasks.
yeah,
So yeah, so I kind of do that. That's really helped me. Before I was like, oh, do I have to do something? Let me look
yeah.
at the calendar. No, no, it's made me really productive, and I started using Trello, so it's really good.
I've also find using Jara is quite good as well.
Oh yeah,
Um, it's really good for my productivity as well. So,
Oh, nice. Now, let me ask you this. Since you've been working on Salesforce, what's your favorite Salesforce feature?
My go-to would probably have to be Visual Force pages because
Oh, nice.
it's quite nice because you get to sort of create like a kind of web page where you can add sort of custom components to.
Yeah.
And then I guess another feature that I'd like to mention is maybe the new DevOps Center that Salesforce has just rolled out. It's quite
Right.
exciting because it could even, replace some of these Azure dev pipelines and that sort of thing. So
Right.
less cost on the business and that. So
Yeah, I've read that in a Salesforce Ben article, but I didn't have a chance to look at it. Yeah, I guess that this is one of the feature which Salesforce wants to make the life of their people, developers or admins, to easier. So I guess it may be a good step in that direction.
yeah.
That's cool. Now, obviously, Salesforce is an exciting tech stack. You like to work on Salesforce. I love to work on tech stack, but there's always something, right? You wish that the platform could improve. Is there
Yeah.
something that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I mean, I use the settings quite often in Salesforce, and it'd just be quite nice rather than having the default homepage. It'd just have access to all the most accessed, settings components,
Right.
rather than keep on using the search box to find what you want. You could have like quick access to, like company information, certificates, like users, all in the one place rather than searching for them all the time. So that's what I
Yeah,
think.
that's cool. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. Fantastic. Now, we have seen due to COVID, right, most of the people started working from home, and like I've been working from home like for 4 or 5 years. So what's your perception on working from home? Obviously, I do understand that, right? Salesforce is a SaaS product. You can pretty much work from anywhere in the world. But that
Yeah.
being said, what's your perception from working from home versus working from office? Do you find it more productive to work from home or
Yeah, I find it a lot more productive working from home because, I've got access to multiple monitors. I've got a nice leather chair. I've got multiple solutions for it, internet in case one of them goes down, and then got an awesome view out the window. Recently I had to fly up to Wellington, and just the use of like the overhead lights and being constrained to like a single laptop screen and no windows in the work area didn't make it very productive, and it made me think about my home office back in Nelson and how nice that is. So yeah.
Nice. I mean, I personally like working from home as well because I'll be honest, my productivity has skyrocketed ever since I started working from home.
I know, exactly right. Yeah.
And another reason, right, which is very personal to me, is that when I met my wife, right, many years ago, I said to her that I hope that we can have coffee every single day in the morning in our life.
Oh, nice, bro.
But
Yeah.
but ever since I started commuting, because I live in Palmerston, all right, and I used to work in Wellington, so I used to leave home like 5 in the morning. So, but
Whoa.
now, ever since I started working from home, I get an opportunity to have the coffee in the morning, which
Yeah.
is really very, very priceless for me. Something I hope I will not have to trade with anything else in life.
Yeah.
So,
And the coffee from home tastes so much better than the one in the office, eh?
oh man, that's totally, because I'm lactose intolerant, so I need almond milk. So
Oh, okay.
I stick to almond milk. So it's home, right, bro? It just, it's
Yeah.
magic. You can
Yeah.
create magic at home. So yeah. So, and plus, you don't get distracted working from home. But the only challenge I would say, right, sometimes, especially on Fridays, like last Friday, I started working at like 8 in the morning and then realized, oops, it's 5, right?
Oh, right.
I skipped my lunch, but
Oh,
that's
no.
great. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes when you're working on a very interesting problem, right? So yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now, Salesforce is obviously, have encouraged people to get certified. Obviously, there are a lot of amazing certs out there. So what's your opinion on Salesforce certification in general?
I have the opinion that they're an important part of the progression, through the Salesforce ecosystem.
Yep.
They provide like a way to measure your knowledge and provide assurance to the employer that you're really skilled in Salesforce. If I had the option of, choosing between experience and certifications, though, that would be quite a hard one because,
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that, right? I mean, obviously, I find certification very valuable at the same time because, you're right. I mean, you can't obviously replace experience, but the certification do sometimes teach certain things which you normally don't get to do in a day-to-day work. Like,
yeah.
so,
And you also need like a way to, measure your progression as well. So like a certification, helps in that.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, that's right. That's fantastic. I really enjoy that. That answer because when I first started in Salesforce space, right, I still remember that I was very nervous because it was not that big compared to what it's now, the
Yeah.
ecosystem. So always I was thinking, do I get certified or what should I do? But thanks to Trailhead, right, and I went with the admin first, and admin is still one of my favorites even
Yeah,
today.
I actually, yeah, that's the first certificate I got around the start of this year actually, and I've got my platform app builder booked in for the 29th of December this year, so looking forward
Nice,
to that.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck.
No, cheers, man.
Now, coming to the I mean, let me expand a bit on the Salesforce there, right? What are the resources you have used for your training?
Well, mostly I've been using like Udemy. That's quite a good one.
Nice.
Focus on Force. I found this new one called SaaS Guru. That was quite good.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Salesforce Cert Days. And your training solution, Inspirate, was found really excellent. So
Oh, cool, mate. Appreciate
yeah,
it. Thank you.
that's all right.
Now, obviously, those who are listening to us, right? Some of the people might be new to the Salesforce or they wanted to get into the Salesforce. They might have first question in their mind. How do you learn Salesforce?
Well, yeah, the first place I went to was Trailhead. So they've got all the modules on there. They've got like a admin beginner and it's got like an admin advanced. So I'd suggest people first starting in Salesforce start with the admin beginner and just slowly work their way up.
Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, the trailhead is very, very interesting, right? I mean, you have badges, super badges. It's like playing a game, right? You get
Yeah, yeah.
rewarded, which is pretty cool, right? It's just a sparkly coming out like sprinkles.
And
Yeah,
it's also nice being able to apply that knowledge that you get in an actual sandbox where you can actually
yeah,
use the skills that you've learned as well. So
yeah, that's right. And it's free, obviously, right? You don't have to
yeah,
pay
yeah.
for it. That's cool. That's fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much I have to talk about in today's episode, which is fantastic. Thank you so much, mate. I really enjoyed our conversation today.
That's all
Uh,
right, Vickers.
Thank you. So I really wish you a great Christmas and you have a great rest of the day.
Likewise.
Thank you. Bye.
No worries. Thank you. Bye.